wow, we got some beauties here. This is my first time here. I mean, how crazy is that for an aeroplane geek, and particularly an aeroplane geek who loved the Second World War? Do you know what? The first thing that strikes you is the smell. It smells like old diesel and mechanics. The other thing is the silver paint on the tail is as bad as I used to do when I was 10 years old.
Enola Gay, you should have stayed at home yesterday. Oh, it's can't describe the feeling and the way you lie. These games you play, they're gonna end in all the tears you bring. Oh, Enola Gay, it should have never had to end this way.
Yeah, this was the second model I ever made. I mean, look at it. You know, it's not exactly a shark-nosed aerodynamic monster, is it? Looks like a hippopotamus, doesn't it? Look at these waist gunners here. Imagine standing back to back with a guy behind you and trying to follow the planes going around you and not shoot the tail off and not shoot your wing off.
It's 8:15. Let's a time that it's always been. We got your message on the radio. Conditions normal and you're coming home.
Oh, hello. I mean, this is it. This is a super fortress. I have only ever seen one other super fortress in the flesh, and that is Enola Gay. It is now actually in a museum in Washington at the airport. You know, we've written about telephone boxes and aeroplanes and oil refineries, and you kind of get into this almost sort of anthropomorphic kind of mentality where you're having a kind of personal connection with an inanimate object. And if you grew up with stories of the Second World War, you made model aeroplanes yourself, and then you become fascinated with the morality stroke immorality of warfare, you naturally come to Enola Gay.
Enola Gay, it's not the proud of little boy today. Oh, this kiss you give, it's never ever gonna fade away.
The Enola Gay, the American bomber named for the pilot's mother, takes off from a tiny Pacific island some 1,500 miles from Japan.
There's a famous photograph of Paul Tibbets in the other window round the other side, sort of waving on the day he went to go and drop his bomb.
President Truman believes the A-bomb will shorten World War II and save the lives of hundreds of thousands of U.S. servicemen. The target city is Hiroshima.
Paul Tibbets, to the day he died, was absolutely convinced that he did the right thing. Yeah. He obviously felt comfortable enough that he was doing the right thing because he named the aeroplane after his lovely mother, which is certainly bizarre in its own way, and hence that's how the lyric "Is Mother Proud of Little Boy Today" comes about, because it's a reference to Tibbets, his mother, the name of the plane, and the code name of the bomb, which was Little Boy.
In the twinkling of an eye, more than 130,000 people are burned, blasted, or crushed to death.
Most of the people in these planes were younger than my youngest daughter is now. And they had this responsibility to do this unbelievable job. So it's... trying to go back and put it in perspective is actually quite hard. And we didn't live through the Second World War. You know, we didn't have to land on a beach and try and crawl your way up and have to shoot people who were in bunkers and use flamethrowers and hand grenades and see your mates blown apart. And so, you know, your mindset would have been totally different, wouldn't it, you know? You know, I was very ambivalent. I could see the logic of why dropping an atom bomb was considered to be the right thing to do. But obviously, in terms of purely the actual deed, it was quite shocking. To kill 140,000 people to save 5 million. There is the ultimate moral dilemma. And in one go. And you know what? I've written a lot of songs about warfare, and I always have to make sure that people understand it's nothing to do with my love of violence and death. I am fascinated by the moral dilemma, that you are encouraged at time of warfare to do things that you'd be prosecuted for at times of peace.